Most of us live only half of life, the visible half, something that's measurable, something that we can achieve, something that we can explain. But according to Lao Tzu, there is another half which is equally, if not more important. But it's something that we can't see, it's invisible. The problem is if you miss this half, then life will inevitably become more difficult than it ought to be. Now, in chapter 1 of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu says, thus, in the realm of non-being, we sense the mystery behind all things. In the realm of being, we see the forms and boundaries. These two ways, the unseen and the seen, come from the same source, yet reveal themselves differently. Now, there are two ways to experience life. The first is what we have been brought up to focus on, the visible, the targets, the deadlines, the roles, the results, and so on and so forth. Something that we can see, which is the being, or Lao Tzu describes as yo. But there's another layer of life, which is invisible. For example, the feeling in the room before everybody speaks, or the feeling that something is off even when everything looks okay, or the quietly unknown that you cannot explain. These are the non-being, or what Lao Tzu describes as wu, something that's invisible. The problem is many people ignore the second world, which is the invisible, and despite the fact that they are trying very hard to get everything right, they don't feel right. Now, Lao Tzu is not rejecting action. What he asks us to do is simply to feel and sense more in addition to seeing more. That's because the visible and the invisible, although they look different, they come from the same source. Now, the visible gives you structure, while the invisible gives you depth. Let's take a simple example, for example, money. Money is what you can see and you know that it's useful. But it also involves the invisible to make it truly valuable. The love that's involved when you use the money, or the intent, or the timing, these are invisible, but it is what make money truly valuable. And if they are wrong, well, money can be wasted or even become a source of harm. Now, if you focus on only what you can see, then you can become rigid, reactive, and easily overwhelmed. But if you can include the invisible also in the way that you do things or think about things, then you become calmer, more perceptive, and surprisingly, more effective. This is where clarity begins, not in more thinking, but in stillness. Now, it's difficult to explain, so let's go through the experience with me together. Take a deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. When you are exhaling, take note of the space before the next thought comes. This is what Lao Tzu wants us to pay attention to. And pay attention to this space in the things that you do, whether it's a meeting, a decision, or conversation. Before you respond, take note of this space and observe what is obvious and what is left unsaid, what is invisible and what is felt. If you can notice this, then you'll notice the non-being. Now, as you can see, life is not only about what you can see, but it's also about what you can sense. And if you can hold both, you stop forcing and begin flowing. Now, if you are interested in the wisdom of Tao Te Ching, subscribe. I'll walk through it with you, a chapter at a time. And see you in the next video.